Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. My name is Adam Glyn. Over there is Dax Holt. Two guys who are anxiously awaiting summer. At least I am, Dax. I don't know about you because you live in summer all year, living in California. In New York, it is rough. When summer comes, I I'm never inside. I enjoy it to the extreme. I have such seasonal depression. You don't have seasonal depression, right? Being in California?
No, it's 70 degrees year round here. What are you talking about? We don't even have seasons. It's just California all the
That's
time.
why I think
No,
people in
it
California are
gets.
weird. I do. I think because there's no seasons, every day is like the same. It's like Groundhog's Day. It's always like the consistent same weather. So you can't tell a difference between like Tuesday and Wednesday. Whereas like in most other places, you're like, oh, Friday was cold, Saturday was sunny and rained. Like it's the same thing. So it actually kind of helps you keep your memory a little bit. That's why California people are like, and no work gets done. No work gets done
You
because the
know why?
weather's so nice.
It is, Adam, your jealousy is showing through so hard right now. You cannot get any better than California weather. It is beautiful year round. We have some little dips here and there, but like to have 70, 80 degree weather all the time, it's amazing. I literally, the worst thing about California is the traffic. Everything else I love.
Okay. All right. You love the pizza
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, we got good pizza.
I guess you could find good pizza. It's pizza. It's so, like people are like, oh, the pizza's
Listen,
terrible.
you New
can find good
Yorkers are
pizza.
so snobby about your pizza and your bagels. Like,
Yeah,
we got good shit here too.
you do have good stuff. I can't, you can find good food anywhere these days. It's not like a New York West Coast thing. It doesn't matter. Are you one of those people that gets excited for summer concerts and summer tours? Beyonce's on tour right now. She just did SoFi in LA. A lot of people talking about Beyonce on tour doing the Cowboy Carter album. Are you excited for any of these tours this summer?
There's one person that I do want to see this summer, and I've had it written down, and it's Shakira. I want to see Shakira. My family, we are all massive Shakira fans. We Waka Waka is like our family theme song. So whenever we go on vacation, we'll wake the kids up with Waka Waka. And so that's who I would like to see this summer. She's going to be at SoFi. So that's really the big one. I would love to see Kendrick.
You would love to
But
see
I
that?
can't
You'd be
actually
excited
take
to see
my
Kendrick Lamar?
so remember how much shit I was talking before the Super Bowl and how I was like, no, not excited. Then the Super Bowl came, and then my son became obsessed with Kendrick songs, and now we listen to him all the time. We have to listen to all the clean versions. So that's the reason that I can't go see his concert, is because my son loves all of his songs. I can't take him to go see a Kendrick concert. There's not enough bleeping in the world that would allow him to go see the concert. So unfortunately, we can't go. But after the Super Bowl, my thoughts of Kendrick completely turned. He is a lyrical genius, and we listen to him all the time at my house.
Interesting. I would not expect you to be a Kendrick Lamar fan. Just on looks
Love
alone,
him.
Dax. You look like you work at a Vineyard Vines or something like that.
What is that supposed to mean?
You look like you'd be related to like the Bush family. I don't know. Me, I think I could blend in. I got a little trash in me. So I think I could do it.
I such good music. Like, and I'm telling you, I guess I didn't appreciate him before the Super Bowl, but I love him now.
Wow, interesting. Okay. I don't think since the Super Bowl my thoughts on Kendrick have changed. He's good. I still don't know if he was a Super Bowl act, but I think he's a solid performer, solid artist. But I'm not like obsessed with Kendrick Lamar. Very nice guy, but that's still. I don't think he. And when I say that, I don't think he's at like that legendary mark yet. I feel like legends are like they're so close to it. Should be doing the Super Bowl. Debatable. I think Post Malone could be doing the Super Bowl. Post Malone's on tour this summer, by the way. I wouldn't rush to go see him. Reason is, I feel like he's always touring, and you could always see Post Malone. I've seen Post Malone perform like a bunch of times. He does a lot of corporate stuff. He is great live. Don't be wrong. I just wouldn't like be in a rush to go see him. Coldplay's on tour this summer.
Does it count though when some of these people are on tour for like 7 years? Like you just mentioned Coldplay. Has Coldplay not been on tour since like 2022. How is that still a tour? How do you go on tour for just 3 years and you just never stop and you're like, oh yeah, we're on tour? Don't are people then still excited to even see them?
Tell that to Bruno
Like there's
Mars,
no
who's been. I feel
stop.
like Bruno Mars has somehow been on that one tour since that one album a couple years ago. And don't get me wrong, it was a great album, but he's still in demand, and he's got like people just want to see his show with that one album. I haven't heard besides Bruno Mars doing the song with Lady Gaga recently. I would love to see, and I'm sure he's working on it. I would love to see more from Bruno Mars. I'm seeing a lot from Ed
Bruno's
Sheeran lately. I mean,
phenomenal.
yeah, no, he's great. I'm seeing a lot from Ed Sheeran lately on social media. He's on tour this year. He's one of those acts I feel like he puts on a great show. He's like he's just a great performer. I'm like still like I don't care to go see like this stadium acts per se.
Yeah.
Like I would see Chris Brown. I just don't want to see him in a stadium. I like to see him in an arena, but I think a stadium takes away from how talented he is. I know you're going to hate me for wanting to go see Chris Brown. It's not just the music; it's
Yeah,
like
you
the
suck.
performance element that goes along with it.
Would you go see Billy?
Billy Joel?
No, Billie Eilish.
Oh, Billie Eilish. If the tickets were handed to me, I would go. Would I be like, oh my God, I'm going to see Billie Eilish? No, but if the tickets were handed to me, I'd go. I would not pay for it, but if the tickets were handed to me, I would go.
I'd like to see her in concert. I think that'd be a good concert.
She'd be fun.
Ed Sheeran, I'd love to see.
Usher?
Again, I don't know if I want to see Usher. I like a couple of his songs. I like Yeah, but the full album, I don't know. That's not. I'd like to see The Weeknd. The Weeknd would be
He's doing
probably a
stadiums
really
right
good
now.
concert.
I think Usher is doing. He's on tour right now, Usher, but I think he's at the point in his career where he's an unbelievable Vegas act. And I know he is doing Vegas. He has a residency there, but he's a great Vegas act.
See, that I think that's the difference. Going to see him at an arena, I'm not into it. Going to see him in Vegas at like a smaller, more intimate show, that feels more like an Usher show to me.
Is that
you know what I'm
is
saying?
that, is that him getting old, or is that us getting old?
Maybe that's us getting old. Gaga, I want to see. Gaga, Pitbull. I saw Pitbull up close in person
with me.
Remember, with you at the Tony Robbins thing.
Yeah, we saw Pitbull,
and Pitbull was 2 feet in front of me, just with his
gyrating
crotch in everyone's face.
He puts on a show. It's fun. It's like
he does put on a good show.
It's high energy. It's it just keeps doing that.
But he's good. That made that one fun was because he was so close. Like I could have literally reached out and just touched his kneecap. Like, hey Pitbull. So that was fun to see him. But Gaga, I think would put on a pretty amazing show. Her set list would probably be massive. The amount of songs that woman has, I mean, it would be a good show, I think.
I still am like really, really want to go to the Sphere to see Dead & Co. Grateful Dead, Dead & Co. with John Mayer.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I see the videos every weekend when they do the residency there, and they just like such an experience. Like, I think it's just so cool to go see that show. I want to go to a Sphere and go see a Dead & Co. show. Dave Matthews is on tour this summer. I love seeing Dave Matthews.
Dave's always good.
I mean, I've seen them a bunch of times, but it's always consistent. I'd be more excited to go see Dave Matthews Band than a Billie Eilish or something like that. Like I want to see. It's a summer tour.
You know who I would pay for is X Ambassadors, because they still play kind of smaller venues. So I would, and I've looked them up a couple times, and it just has never worked out. They've been in San Diego or they've been up in LA. I just haven't had an opportunity. I would go pay for them. You know who else is unbelievable talent? Teddy Swims.
Great. Yeah. He's a nice guy too.
I love that guy's voice. His voice is so good.
His album's
I know
good.
that he's on tour. Yeah, he's on tour until like September of this year. I don't know if he's coming anywhere close, but I don't know if I know enough of his catalog. I know like 2 or 3 of his songs. I love the 2 or 3 that I know. Ooh, Benson Boone. When is that guy going on tour? His Coachella set was so good. Yeah. I think he's going to be the next like massive superstar.
You know, I forgot he's in New York.
He is so talented.
Yeah, I think he's in New York next week or this week, and I wanted to try to find this guy. I wanted to run into him. I never got him before. I want to meet him.
But I really think he's got this talent, this star power that I haven't seen in a long time. I think that we're going to see a lot of that guy over the next couple years, just turning into a
I
megastar.
agree with you. I agree with you. I would like to see AC/DC. I think that'd be a fun show. I think it's just kind of good rock. And
Have you have you ever been backstage at like a concert?
I have.
Like I've done it a couple times and I think it's fun, but I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's everything that people envision it. Like
No,
you're going backstage and there's just people like doing drugs off the table and all this kind of stuff. It's not like
no.
that.
I went backstage for Dave Matthews Band, and what they have is like you don't even see the band. They have what they do is they have like their friends and family, and I think they cater to them a little bit. They give
Mhm.
like a tent, and they have like Dave's wine there, and like a few like popcorn and pretzels for people. So it's a place where you can
Yeah.
like get like beer, water, and like Dave's wine, so you can have wine on him. They don't have like there's not tons of food by any means. And I've always asked artists about like what's the backstage vibe like during when and they're like, dude, like very basic, like Cheerios and water, like because they don't want to party for every show because they're the ones putting the bill up for that. So they don't want to pay
Yeah.
money for even you think they're going to a venue and the venue's going to put lobster and shrimp out for them. No, no, no. Everything that they get, they have to pay for. So yeah, you want yellow
Mhm.
M&Ms and cold towels and a treadmill right there. Okay, that's fine. We'll get it for you, but you're going to get the bill. So they keep it very.
Well, it depends. Some venues will pick up the bill because they want the artist to perform there. I've been backstage to a lot of like festivals. So like the Odyssey Beach Festival is backstage, the K Rock Weenie Roast backstage. So I've been to a lot of those type of backstages where you see the band walking around, you're interacting with them, but there's also a lot of celebs showing up there, and so they kind of get the backstage access. I don't think I've been backstage at like a concert for a single act. Um Necessarily. I got invited to like backstage at the Pink concert, but I wasn't able to make it. Can you believe that?
What?
Still kick myself to
What was
this
the reason
day.
for that? I
I
mean,
know.
come on, Dex. Yeah.
Someone at the label knew how much of a fan I was, and they said, "Hey, do you want to come backstage and meet her before the
Oh
show?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And it was a big Jewish holiday, and I didn't get to go.
God, Pink doing shows on a Jewish holiday. Come on. I don't blame
She's
her.
Jewish too. She should know better than that.
Yeah,
So we went after like the dinner, and I unfortunately missed my opportunity.
yeah,
But I've met her before, but it was just that one still burns to this day.
yeah. That's a brutal one. I mean, the tour life.
God was testing me. Oh, you want Pink or you want me? Let's do this.
Yeah, the tour lifestyle is just so intense and it's so crazy. It's almost like you really have to train like an athlete. You have very little downtime because after you go all night, you perform till let's say 11 p.m. You shower, you get cleaned up, you kind of settle down. You're going to sleep late. The next morning, you're waking up. You have to go to sound check. You want to eat breakfast, go to sound check, and then do whatever you got to do before the show. It's a very grueling lifestyle, and I don't know how people and their families, like I don't know if like some artists travel with their families, which seems like more of like a circus. If you're an artist in a relationship, I don't know if the other partner is not with you, how you guys even stay together, because it's not
Well,
like there's like
I think
it's crazy. It is unique.
I think honestly though, I think that's why you see cheating that happens when like you either it's a big musician or a big athlete, because they're given so much freedom and time away from their families, and they're stuck in hotel rooms, they're stuck backstages. It's a lot of like wait around, and next thing you know, there's hot people walking up to you basically throwing themselves at you, and I think the situation is ripe. There's probably a lot of drinking going on, and so I think that's why you hear a lot of cheating in the industry, because it's like it presents itself. It's not, you're not sitting at home playing Scrabble with your family, you're on the road drinking by yourself. And we've heard, I mean, some of the biggest relationships in the world have been plagued with infidelity. I mean, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, two of the most powerful people on the planet that have everything, and they have, Jay-Z admitted to having an affair on Beyonce. And I remember her whole Lemonade album was based on that and forgiveness and resilience and all of that. And I don't know, I think that it sometimes lends itself. Hollywood sometimes lends itself to cheating,
Well,
unfortunately.
all right. You want? There was. I mean, yes.
Oh, I need to read a review
Yeah.
real fast. Do
Yeah.
you want me to read a review?
Okay. You read a review,
Okay,
then
let me read
I
the
got a
review.
question about the Jay-Z thing, actually.
All right, so this one comes from Crystal. The title is The Absolute Best Podcast for Celeb News. It says, I absolutely love this podcast. If you're a fan of celebrity news, this is the ultimate source for all the latest gossip, breaking stories, and insider scoops. Dax and Adam are engaging, witty, and always keep the content fresh and entertaining. I also appreciate how they mix up fun discussions with thoughtful insights, never just surface level babble. Whether it's about Hollywood drama, red carpet moments, or interviews with insiders, this podcast covers it all in personal and fun way. Definitely a must listen to if you want to stay in the loop. Highly recommend. Dang,
Very
that's a good
good.
one.
That was
Damn,
nice.
Crystal. Damn, Crystal.
Dang,
Back
Crystal.
at it again with that awesome review.
Thank you. That was super nice, super sweet. Keep the reviews coming in. It's the best thing to do to support this podcast. Dax, back to Jay-Z. So Jay-Z and Beyonce married in 2008. Okay.
Yeah.
You were
Okay.
at TMZ at the time when the elevator incident between Solange, Beyonce's sister, and Jay-Z kind of came about. Was that
Not only was I there, I personally secured that video.
you were the first person to really see that video that's saying, hey, this video's
I
for sale?
saw that video. I got that video.
Did a tipster call in with that?
It not revealing my sources,
Okay.
Adam. All I'm saying is I got my hands on the video, which was wild. That day I remember watching this video thinking we had never seen Beyonce, Jay-Z, anything kind of like this before, where it was they've always been historically very private. And then to see this moment kind of unfold where they're in an elevator and Solange is going after Jay-Z, punching, kicking, and Beyonce is just sitting back like not reacting to it at
Yeah.
all. And that's really when all the rumors started up of like, holy shit, is Solange defending her sister, and is Jay-Z cheating? And so now she's confronting him about it. Like, that's literally where it all stemmed from. That video was huge.
Huge.
Huge
Did the
video.
Bodyguard, remind me, Dax, did the Bodyguard stop it at all? Or did he get in? Because Beyonce
It was just the three of them in the elevator.
Oh, it's just the three of them.
It was the three of them in the elevator, and that's why it was so wild. Because I think if there was a bodyguard, that would have made it a difference. Like someone would have stepped in, but instead Beyonce just stood there like unaffected by the whole thing, letting her sister go after her husband.
But we still don't know if that was the incident that started.
I don't think we'll ever know what exactly was the catalyst to the elevator video. People believe that that's what it was, but we don't really know.
Yeah, well then,
and so, but I can tell you that's where all the rumors of infidelity really like kicked off. And so then when Beyonce released Lemonade in, what was that, 2016?
Yeah, 2 years later after
that
the
was when it
incident,
was
yeah.
like, yeah, that was too late. That was like when she kind of really acknowledged it. And it was like this whole album about betrayal and anger and reconciliation and all this stuff. And all the lyrics really pointed to Jay-Z's infidelity. So like, that was kind of what we were all waiting for. And remember, the big thing from that album was the lyric about Becky with the good hair, and how everyone then was like, who the hell is Becky? Oh my God, is Becky Rachel Roy, who was Damon Dash's wife at the time and Jay-Z's former business partner. And so all of it like together, Jay-Z and Beyonce both, again, even with cheating, know how to turn it around and profit off of it and make good music and good content and turn it into, I would say, almost a positive for them, because that Lemonade album was huge for her.
Well,
and I think that they really did like a good job, not only using that like cathartically and to reconcile a relationship, but like grow closer and stronger together afterwards. And then he he then did the like 444 album in
Well, yeah, well, I'm
which
gonna
he
say I
then
feel
kind
like they
of
only commented on it through music, nothing outside that,
correct.
which is
Correct.
kind of crazy that they're so big that they could do interviews and say, "Yeah, we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that. Like everything's in the music."
Well, I also think look at Beyonce and how she uses Instagram. Does she ever really write a comment or a caption? No, she just posts photos. Like she's so much bigger than all of it that she doesn't even have to caption it. She just puts up photos and everyone has to be like, okay, well, I guess this is what she means by it. And I think that's what they do in life. And so once he released the 444 album, I think that was really his public apology, his confession to cheating. And, he addressed cheating. He addressed how he was just emotionally immature at the time, and how I want to say he even talked about therapy and like needing to get therapy. Listen, it was the big cheating scandal that no one really talked about, but yet talked about at the same time.
Yeah, very. They have a unique relationship, and
Yeah.
not a bad way. I think actually they do it very well. They're able to stay very private. You don't see
Which
Beyonce
is
ever.
hard this time of it's hard to keep private in this culture right now
Yeah,
when everyone can be a paparazzi, everyone can
true.
be uh, I don't want to say a journalist, but everyone can break news, if they can call up their friends, they can post it on X, they can put, like anyone can break huge news, whether or not the world believes it, but everyone can have these firsthand accounts.
Yeah. Were you at TMZ during the Khloé Kardashian, like Tristan Thompson era of that? Because that
So
was a unique thing because it was just like over and over, so many
I
rumors
was
regarding
I
him,
was
and
I think I was there. I left, I think, right at the time that they got together because that was like September of
okay, so
2016.
you
So that
kind of
was
were on the
right
way
around the
out
time
ish.
that I was like heading out. So I missed a lot of that. But I mean, it was so highly covered. He was playing with the Cavaliers at the time. She obviously was on the biggest reality show. So them getting together was
Nobody
massive.
knew who Tristan Thompson
And
was before he started dating
mm-mm,
Khloé. Decent basketball player, I say, and that's me. I'm rounding up when I say decent. Like he was a fine basketball player. Listen, he played in the NBA, so he was good enough and did have play long enough. So when he started dating her
mhm.
after Lamar, everyone's like, man, like Khloé has a type, and he became I I wouldn't say a household name, but became a name from dating Khloé Kardashian. Especially people get excited for
Well,
Khloé's love life.
it wasn't just that, because you remember he was supposedly still with his ex, Jordyn, at the time. And so there was a lot of people like trying to figure out the timeline of was Tristan with Jordyn when he started dating Chloe and like trying to put that whole thing together. So that's really kind of what sparked the rumors, and she was pregnant with his first child, Prince, at that time. So there was a lot of like negative sentiment from the get-go with Tristan. So I think once Chloe got pregnant with True and all the infidelity rumors started breaking, that's when TMZ released the video footage of him kissing and groping multiple women inside of clubs. That's when that narrative even came back to bite him in the ass. Like, oh, look, you did this with your ex. Look, you're doing it again to Chloe now. Like, and then a lot of people saying, Chloe, you should have known better.
Yeah,
Like, you can't get with a man who cheats and then expect him to like change his whole demeanor and like who he is.
Dax. So Chloe's about to give birth to their first kid, their kid, True.
True.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
right before she gives birth, TMZ
Yeah.
releases a video footage showing Tristan kissing and groping women in multiple women in clubs.
Yeah.
Was TMZ at wrong for showing that video, putting that video out right before she's about to give birth? Should they waited a little bit, or like as a
I,
news
I
outlet, what are you
mean,
supposed to do in that sense?
here's the thing. If it wasn't them, it was going to be another outlet that puts it out. I think that story was so big, and I'm sure that whoever had the footage wanted it out. And so If TMZ passed on it, it would have been Radar. It would have been Daily Mail. It would have been someone else. So is TMZ wrong for putting it out? I don't think they're wrong for putting it out. I
They're in
think that
competition with other
it
outlets.
really hurt Khloé, but I don't think it's TMZ who hurt Khloé. I think it's Tristan who hurt Khloé.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he shouldn't have been doing that crap. And I remember she was still kind enough to allow him into the delivery room for the birth of their child. And you kind of saw all of that unfold on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and how it was so difficult on her, but she kept saying, like, I don't want to look back, and this is for my kid. This is not for me. This is not for him. This is for our child to look back. And so I think what she did was really like an upstanding thing, but then he just continued to like fuck with her emotions over the years. And I think that's why people really dislike him, because they love Khloé so much, and all he's done is hurt her over and
Over
over
and
and over again over
so
the
many
years.
times, because
And
that was just
and you
one thing, Dax. There's a few scandals with
one
Tristan
thing.
Thompson.
Yeah, well, the pregnancy was one thing. A year later, then he is caught kissing Jordyn Woods, which is Kylie Jenner's best friend. And she admits to it because the Kardashians obviously cornered her about it and said, "Is this true?" And she said yes. So like you're so dumb, Tristan. What are you doing? And
Jordan's
not
dumb
only that,
too.
I bet Jordyn Woods regrets that so much, because she was kicked out of the like Kardashian family, and she was best friends with Kylie at the time, but she essentially got excommunicated out of the family, and she was so tight with all of them. So that was probably a big mistake on both of their parts,
Yeah, what?
and
Well, it's weird that she says, and I don't know what exactly went down, but she kind of claims that he kissed her. Which, did you kiss? Like, how do you?
again, how did you get into that situation? And if you did, why didn't you? And he leans over to kiss her and she doesn't want it. Right then, she probably should have raised the red flag and went to tell Kylie, because then she wouldn't have been in the outs. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If she was the one that truly got kissed and didn't want it, she should have raised the red
And then
flag.
somehow, after all this so
And
far,
they broke up. They broke up after
yeah,
that, by the
yeah, they
way.
broke up, but somehow through all that, they end up back together.
Which is, again, it's like, Khloé, stop.
And it doesn't end
Stop,
there
Khloé.
well
Why do you
still.
keep doing
Yeah,
this?
because
No,
they start
but you
co-parenting.
got to
Yeah,
remember, when you look back to this time, this was the pandemic. The pandemic where people couldn't go out. They couldn't just go mingle in bars and restaurants, and so the people that you spent the most time with was friends, family that are close within your bubble, as if you remember. So I say that why would she get back together with him? But again, that was a weird time in our lives, and she was probably spending a lot of time with him because they have a child together, and it just kind of worked itself back out. And so they end up getting back together and talking about having another kid together, and it was probably a really good time for them, because he couldn't go out and cheat. No one was out in public doing things, so that the cheating was probably not even an issue at that time. So she let him back in his life, or her life, and then he went and fucked it all up again.
I mean,
Like Tristan does.
yeah, he screwed up again and again and again. This is are we
This was when the secret baby happened, though,
secret
if you
baby? So
remember.
explain about he's having a kid with Khloé. They had a surrogate for
So,
number two.
right. So they were basically had decided, okay, we're gonna have another baby via surrogate. They The baby gets implanted into the surrogate, and then news breaks that Tristan is actually, I think he was being sued for child support at the time by this other woman who said, "Wait, you got me pregnant, and now I want child support." And so he was like, "Oh, no, no." He fully like denied the whole thing at the beginning. No, 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 no. I'm not the father. Paternity test comes back. You are the father. So he's like, "God damn it." And that's when Khloé found out. She was obviously super pissed, super hurt, because she's already now got a surrogate with a baby on the way. This is the second child with this guy. and boom, he's screwed over once again. The more I talk about it, it's like I know all this information, but the more I like actually say it out loud, I really dislike Tristan
Yeah, how
Thompson. Like, what
can
a
you like him?
dickbag.
I'm surprised an NBA would take a guy like that. An NBA team would invest in a player like
Well, the
that.
NBA is like
But an NBA team would
that
invest
they're
in a
gonna
player
stay
like
out of it.
that based on his behavior, and it's just erratic behavior. And I think that people resonate with Khloé because they show her, obviously forgiveness is not the easiest for a lot of people, but she was able to kind of put away that forgiveness and shame for the benefit of her children because she wanted a father around
What do
for
you
her
mean put
children.
away for the forgiveness? She showed ultimate
Yeah,
forgiveness.
well, yes, you're right. She showed forgiveness, and she kind of didn't let shame take over because she wanted a father there for her kids, and
And I feel like they get along pretty well. I mean, they're not like romantic at this point. I But he does get the invites to the birthday parties, and they very much co-parent True and Tatum, and it seems like they're all good. Um, but man, even being her family, how do you look at this guy? Like, I don't like him, and I am not a sibling of Khloé Kardashian,
yeah,
and I can't stand him.
I think
How do the rest of the Kardashians and Jenners look at this man after he's hurt their sister or their daughter so much and actually open the door and let him in? That to me is wild.
I think there's one cheating scandal, Dax, that
Yeah.
still lives with this celebrity today. I think ultimately
Who?
hurt their career. And when I think about their career and I think about them, I don't even think about their art or their talent. I think about the
You just think
scandal.
about the cheating?
Who you gonna,
Who's
I
that?
am talking about LeAnn Rimes.
That one I do remember really
That
well
one to
too.
me took over. It was so in the headlines that I stopped thinking
Mhm.
about her. That's all I know them by is like this that what happened because LeAnn Rimes was an interesting person. You remember seeing her when she was a
Well, she was
kid.
also huge. She was huge back in the like late what was that? Mid to late 2000s. LeAnn Rimes was like a massive singer
There's
at that
child
time.
stars as actors. She was like the one. Like, oh, this girl is the next Celine Dion. Let's watch her now. And this is when she was a teenager. She was groomed almost to be like, oh, she's going to be Taylor Swift. She gets married to this guy who is a dancer, and he seemed it's a controversial.
Are you talking about
Yeah,
Dean?
remember that guy?
Dean Sherman?
I
Yeah,
think
he
he's a
was
chef in like a New York
he
City
was a he
restaurant
was like a
now.
chef. Yeah. He had something to do with food, so like a chef or a
But I think no, he
cook
was a
and a
dancer at first. I think he's
dancer.
a chef now, but at the time, I believe he was a dancer.
Whatever. He wasn't massive by any means. She was obviously the massive star. Um but then what really so I guess fast forward to like when she met Eddie Cibrian. They were doing a movie called like Northern Lights together. That's when she met Eddie. She was already married. Eddie was also married to Brandi Glanville, obviously. That's like we know Brandi Glanville on Real Housewives because of this cheating. Like this cheating story was so big it put Brandi Glanville on the map, and Brandi obviously like fueled the flames because she used this to her advantage to become a really well-known person. Anyway, Eddie, so they filmed this movie together, Northern Lights. We also knew him. He was on like CSI back at the time. And so both of them married. I'm not going to say happily married, but married. And then this video drops. And it was, wait, was it videos or photos? I can't even remember at the time, but it
Did
was,
you
I visually see it in my head of Eddie and LeAnn in a
was it
restaurant.
a downstairs shot?
And
If I remember, like it was like I
I
remember
don't know if it was
it was like a
downstairs. I just
sushi
think it
place. I
was
don't know.
like the angle I remember like looking
Same.
down.
Did you wait? Were
Um
you involved of the purchasing of those photos? Were you involved with the photos of that?
I don't think that was a TMZ thing if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I
I don't
don't
know
I, I
if
don't
you
think
did have any.
because that was again it was
You were
2009ish.
there.
So I was definitely there, and I remember we covered it a lot, but I don't think we covered the initial, or I'm sorry, I don't think we broke the initial
Okay.
story. I think someone else broke the initial story. Um, but those photos came out of them kissing, like at a like a really intimate dinner date, and that blew the fuck up because both of them were married at the time, and it was a huge fallout. LeAnn's husband Dean was apparently just blindsided at the time. He filed for divorce in late 2009. They were officially divorced in 2010, and I remember he at the time had said something like, "I wish he just would have been honest with me. Just walk away, be honest. Like, you didn't need to screw me over in such a public way." Brandi also came out, started talking. She had a very contentious divorce with Eddie at the time, but I will say this launched her career in reality TV, and that's why she got Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So, and that's why we all know her name. So, as much as this cheating scandal was awful and probably a massive derailment of her personal life, it fueled her reality TV career.
LeAnn and Eddie also
Do
did
you
get.
think she would? I would like to. We're friends with Brandi. I would like to know if she could do it all over again. Would she still let this happen because of, or not let this happen, but would she still choose the route it went down, or would she say no to the no cheating and to go back to life before?
Mm, was it Brandy? No, because I think she's struggling a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
things are
She,
going that well for her in some ways, and I'm sure it took a toll on the body. But LeAnn and Eddie did get married 2 years later. I mean, I guess they found each other's calling. LeAnn did comment, and she does. I don't think she speaks about it, like but she admits, like, yeah, what I did was very selfish and very bad. And um,
I will say, after all these years, the three of them get along very well.
who's the three?
Even Leanne, Brandy, and
Oh,
Eddie.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, they get along well. They put a lot of the drama behind them. They will go out like Thanksgiving, Christmas. They all get together, and so like I think Brandy's actually joked about being like the extra wife in the relationship because they get along pretty decently well now. Is that they will hang out for all the big holidays and it's all good. Obviously, there's still weird tension there, but and I assume that if there was a guy in Brandy's life, it would make it a little easier,
Yeah.
you know, um, because then it wouldn't be like this constant in your face of the woman that ruined your marriage. But they've seemed to be able to navigate pretty well through
I
it.
think the most insane cheating scandal for me, at least, was um, Arnold. I mean, that
Hmm.
was for you. Were you? So again, I'm gonna go. I always go back to you. Were you working at the time there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was at TMZ. And this story, I don't think there was anything bigger at the time than the Arnold love child story and the cheating rumors, the or not even cheating rumors, the realization that Arnold had cheated on Maria and then how it led to the demise of their relationship.
Yeah, I mean, Marie.
But
That
that
was their.
that was
They're
crazy.
royals. I mean, they're American royals. There's obviously we don't really have royalty in America, but there's some sort of royals in Hollywood. And Maria Shriver, who is the niece of John F. Kennedy,
Hmm.
and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is the most famous bodybuilder of all time and an A-list actor and the former governor. And she finds out years later that Arnold had a love child with their maid of all
It's
people.
is so wild. Like, and if you remember back at that time, Arnold he had just finished, like, wrapped up the
Yeah.
governorship. Is that what you say? Governorship?
Yes, sir.
He'd wrapped up being governor here in California, and then him and Maria kind of like announced their separation, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's really weird." And no one kind of expected that, especially like, "Oh, now you're out of office. Why are you breaking up?" And then the LA Times broke the biggest story that Arnold had fathered a child with their longtime housekeeper, Mildred. I'll never forget that name, Mildred Baena, and had a secret love child for over a decade. And the news was so wild that I didn't even believe it.
Yeah.
There's a couple stories in my career that are so wild that I'm like, there's no way. That one was one of them. The Bruce transitioning to Caitlyn at the time, did not believe that. Again, this is when it was just stories about Bruce having a closet full of dresses. I was like, get out of here. Um, so a couple stories like that I just didn't believe, and this was one of them. And to think that he had a child that no one knew about. Again, one of the biggest celebrities on the entire planet. How could he possibly have a child that no one knew about for so long? And she, the maid Mildred, worked in the house for 20 years with them, and I guess Maria had actually looked at Joseph because he was around quite a bit, and just started to question, like, why does this kid look so much like Arnold? And was born right around the same time as their son Christopher, and so there were so many questions swirling that she finally went up to Mildred and confronted her and said, "Why does Joseph look like Arnold? Is he Arnold's son?" And that's when she admitted, yes, that's true. And then once Mildred confirmed it, Maria was like, I'm out, done. Because can you imagine living under the same roof with this woman? She's taking care of your children, your house. Like, talk about the ultimate betrayal for Maria.
We don't know. I mean, I don't know if you know, is Joseph Baina, who is Arnold's son and the housekeeper's son,
Yeah,
is he close with the other Arnold kids and what the relationship is between the that?
I think that they're okay. I think that, but I there's still like a weird relationship, I think, between them, because like I think they look at him, unfortunately, as a reason that their family fell
Yeah,
apart.
it's sad. I feel
And it's
bad for.
not his
It's not his
fault.
fault. I
It's
honestly feel bad for him. I hope he handles it well. I mean, it is a difficult situation for
I mean,
everyone.
Arnold spends time with him. They, like, he's very much involved in the kid's life. They work out together. Joseph is like a bodybuilder like Arnold, so they go to the gym all the time together, and I think that's where they've kind of bonded, because they didn't you know Arnold wasn't his dad growing up. Yes, he may have supported him, he may have bought him stuff, but he wasn't his dad when he was young, and now he's able to be that father figure to
You
him.
wonder if Maria goes to their accountant, their financial guy, and be like, because those guys had to have known, hey, why is Arnold push, throwing this housekeeper extra money? Like, why is she on the books? Where is this money going to? And
Unless he did it in cash and no one knew. I mean, there's a chance no one knew that he was able to do it well enough. And I also think when you have so much money, if you are siphoning off a little here and there, people probably don't notice. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to the ATM and pulling out $20,000, there's a chance that no one notices, because that's normal for someone super rich.
is it though?
Uh, Listen,
It's
dude,
cash. Like,
I think I think when you are so filthy rich beyond what we can truly imagine in our own lives, if you have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank, literally, what is $20,000 to you? You don't notice it because there's so much money coming in and out and in and out and in and out that you don't notice these little transactions. For you and I, that would be a shit ton of money that obviously my wife would throw up a red flag and be like, where is that money going? Because we don't have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank.
yeah.
But for someone like him, you hide it within all the other transactions that are coming in and out, and you just call it, oh, that, I win gambling. I don't
I
know.
don't know. There's some stickiness going on there. There's some other people that must have known, because he's got to write off some money for her. Because I'm sure this girl is getting paid very well to keep her mouth shut.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, she had to have been paid very well, and she was still working for the family.
Yeah.
Like, how do you show up to work every day and look at Maria knowing that you cheated with her husband and you have a child? Like, the whole thing is so freaking
It's
messed
weird.
up.
It's weird. We should do a part two of this. I got to think back of some other. There's just things like I'm just kind of going. I there's a lot
Yeah,
of.
like, we didn't even, like, I would love to dive into Brad and Angelina and the Jen Aniston stuff. I mean, there's so many good public scandal cheating situations, but like we can't obviously get to them all.
And then listen, that's only a handful. There's the ones that we don't even know about where it's just these celebrity couples have open relationships. So, which that part,
True.
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard some stories about some people, but I don't want to get into that because who knows what the relationship is there. All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out our private Facebook group, Off the Record. Follow me at Adam Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Dax Holt. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
What's up, guys? If you like that video, there's plenty more that came from.
Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so we can just feed you all the goodness daily.
Hurry up. Come on, let's go.